आज I'd like to start with again going back to theoretical and conceptual framework. कल हम लोगों ने इस टॉपिक को इंट्रोड्यूस किया था with respect to theory and research. So on the basis of that, just to quickly summarize, so theoretical framework. So आज हम लोग research design और framework देखेंगे. Is typically developed from things that are already pre-existing, which are already previously tested. There is published knowledge, and that forms the basis for your research. And so, having talked about this and talked about theory, I put together some questions to put in front of you about what the theoretical framework of research means. Okay, so कल मैंने exercise सोचा था कि आप लोग खुद अपने questions अगर कर सकते हैं. So this would be some of the questions that you may be asking when you are trying to put up a theoretical framework for your research. Okay, so I'll just go through some of this particular questions that I have taken from this research paper. So is there a theory that can help me make sense of whatever question you are asking? Okay, or for example, what are experts that have made up any theories about the topic that I am looking at? What is the theoretical perspective? What are the variables in a theoretical framework that people have looked at? Then whatever it could also be, for example, how can I modify? So there is already an existing theory. Your research could be based on modifying that theory. Right? So हमने research का definition देखा है, to add to existing knowledge. So that itself can be a research topic that you may want to choose. Right? Now, for example, does the theoretical framework I am developing address the research questions and hypotheses that I have made? So you are starting with a theory, you come up with a problem. Is it matching? Or do you need to do further literature survey? And so on and so forth. So these are the type of questions that if you start your research with some form of question, it will always go a long way in helping you devise your strategies. अगर हम conceptual देखें तो हम लोगों ने जो research as a concept, अगर आप conceptual research करने जा रहे हैं, then it will be more logically oriented. There will be already you will have to decide in a very structured manner exactly bit by bit how you are collecting the data, and the kind of questions, for example, that you may want to ask in a conceptual framework would be the kind of questions that we asked, for example, when we were trying to do some form of basic or applied research. So for example, the conceptual framework would be, what do you want to do in your research? Why is it important? What are your specific objectives? What do you plan? How are you planning to do? Even in this, which theoretical framework are you going to use to analyze your data? Okay? Which software you may be using? So this is all part of conceptual framework. So आपके research design में, make sure you have a theoretical framework and you choose. Now, is your conceptual framework going to be based on the theoretical framework you've made? Or like yesterday we were saying, क्या आपके conceptual framework में से आप theoretical component निकालेंगे? पर जब आप इसको design करेंगे आपके research को, दोनों aspects अपने research में include करिए. That makes your research a more wholesome type of research. Okay? Now, I talked already about some of this, but just to give you in one slide, types of research. So we looked at some of these. For example, we looked at causality yesterday, descriptive versus analytical. And we will be looking at some of these. For example, relationship in time, हमने briefly touch किया था कल about retrospective, longitudinal, cross-sectional. And another way in which you can design your research is whether it's clinical research हम देखेंगे आज, is it laboratory research, and so on and so forth. So this is something we had already seen yesterday, but we can look at this again. So pure may just we look at basic research questions, for example. These are the type of questions that you would ask in basic research. where you are just asking what is something composed of, how does the slime mold reproduce, what is the genetic code. For example, आपने sequencing के लिए दे दी, you've just given the data for sequencing. That would be a very basic descriptive type of research. हम लोगों ने silos में अभी यहाँ देख रहे हैं, but you can see that, for example, this type of research, the kind of data that it would give me would be basic and descriptive, right? This we had seen yesterday. So this talks about descriptive research and analytical research. So I'm just going to move a little bit ahead and let us move to so let's move to analytical research, which is where on this slide we closed yesterday. So basically analytical research, अगर आप descriptive research, so you know the kind of questions that you will be asked is typically books में आपको मिलेगा descriptive versus analytical, basic versus applied. Now जैसे मैंने कहा हर research के अलग-अलग पहलू हर research design में होंगे, and the type of question that can be asked of you, for example, I'll give you a research paper and ask you what are the different type of research designs do you think have been used in this type of research. Okay, अगर theoretically research paper का question अगर आप समझें. So analytical research, अगर हम वापस we go back to where we left off yesterday, compared to descriptive research, where we are describing what is, analytical research asks the questions why, how. Okay, you are looking for explanations. You want to see cause and effect. You want to see causal relationship between variables. So even in analytical research, let us see two basic types: observational research and experimental research. Observational analytical research हमने थोड़ा कल कवर किया था, but यहाँ पे फिर से एक थोड़ा सा डिटेल आपको बताना चाहेंगे. तो पहला इसमें होता है कोहोर्ट स्टडी. तो कोहोर्ट हमने कोहोर्ट और ग्रुप स्टडी. So example is given here. A cohort could be a group formed by patients with the common characteristics. It could be chemicals with the common characteristics. It could be microorganisms or organisms showing certain classification that is common. So a cohort study, and this type of language is very much used in clinical research. So cohort study will be usually a group of patients followed up in time. So within cohort, you can also have prospective cohort study, where the results are obtained after the research starts. So आपने drug treatment किया, and you are trying to study what happens post. So that becomes a prospective study. कल हम लोगों ने discuss किया था, if the study has happened before a phenomena has occurred, then it is known as a retrospective. So if the researcher is following up a group of subjects from a time before, then it becomes a retrospective cohort study. Now, usually those cohort studies, because cohort may remember we are targeting, we have defined the group of people. That is why it is called cohort study. Okay? It's called ambidirectional if you are also following retrospective and you are following the patients or the subjects in both timelines. Case control हम लोगों ने descriptive study या descriptive research में कल 3 टाइप के देखे थे. Can anybody remember? Survey, case study, correlation. So again here in our analytical research also, if you are, so now see, it is only what kind of group you are based on. That was the description of the descriptive research के लिए भी हमने basis क्या बनाया था, तो group को बनाया था. Population wide है तो हम survey कर रहे हैं, single है subject है तो case कर रहे हैं, comparison कर रहे हैं या correlation कर रहे हैं दो variables का तो उसको correlation में डाल दिया. अगर इसी group को अगर हम analytical questions पूछ के study कर रहे हैं, then it becomes a case control study which is part of analytical research. Okay, so analytical research and typically these type of case control studies can be retrospective, they can also be prospective, but यहाँ in this particular slide, these are retrospective cohort studies in a way. They examine the cause and effect relationship from effect to the cause, because if you want to know effect and cause, and if something has already happened, so you can trace it because the data is already present in front of you. So इसमें भी you can have a retrospective case control study. You can also have you can decide the research that from now I am going to see, and you will see then it will not fall into case control respective study. Will be putting into a different category because now you are doing experiment. Experiment में आप observation कर रहे हो, but आप सिर्फ observational जो study होगी, typically आपकी पहले का डेटा होगा, because आप आगे का अगर कर रहे हो, then you are probably intervening in some way. आपने कुछ drug दिया होगा, कुछ किया होगा, so वो observational में नहीं आएगा, वो experimental में चला जाएगा. You understand? The analytical research is of two types: observational and experimental. So you're taking a group of people, you're doing something to them, you're doing an experiment, right? या आप थोड़ा सा हेल्प कर दीजिए, कुछ पास कर दीजिए लोग, आप दे दो फिर आगे देखिए. So क्रॉस सेक्शनल भी एक तरीके का हो सकता है. So क्रॉस सेक्शनल में, see ambidirectional में you are doing a continuous time framework. Cross sectional में you choose this time framework, this time framework, this time framework. Okay? So cross sectional study में patients or events are examined at a particular point in time. You choose the time. For example, if I am doing the study of, for example, looking at the effect of an antibiotic on microbial growth, previously done kind of data, then I am choosing the time points at which I will be doing it. That type of study is known as a cross-sectional study. Okay? या आपने cross-sectional biologist ने जो कल भी मैंने बताया था, आप section बनाते हैं, so you remember it like that. Now it is important for you to remember these names, because when you look at the title of a paper which says cross-sectional study, it gives you an idea कि उसका research design क्या था. How did they plan to study that phenomena? आप कैसे प्लान कर रहे हो इसको स्टडी करने के लिए? अगर आपने you decide कि मैं सारा टाइम का डेटा लूंगा, तो आपको कुछ और इक्विपमेंट यूज करने की जरूरत पड़ेगी. That may be real time analysis. You understand? For example, if I want to study a biological sample, I have the option that if I'm doing cell culture work or anything like that, I take out the biological sample at time 0, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Then the design of my experiment says every 10 minutes take out the sample. If my purpose is saying कि मुझे सारा टाइम ऑब्जर्व करना है कि ये कैसे इस पे इफेक्ट पड़ रहा है, तो शायद मुझे रियल टाइम माइक्रोस्कोपी इमेज एनालिसिस करना पड़ेगा कि मैं कैमरा लगा के रखूं और वो रियल टाइम मुझे डेटा देता रहे. बाद में मैं चूज कर सकती हूँ कि मैं उसको क्रॉस सेक्शनल बनाऊंगी कि मुझे एवरी टाइम पॉइंट पे एनालिसिस चाहिए कि फॉर एग्जांपल अगर कोई मटेरियल है तो उसकी इलास्टिसिटी कैसे चेंज हो रही है with respect to application of pressure. Do I want to do it only at certain time points, or I want to look at it over 10 minutes stretch? Similarly, crystallization. Do I want to know about every single split second where a molecule is getting crystallized, or I only want to look at it after 30 minutes? So the technology you are using is also going to change. Your research design is going to change, and not only that, what type of statistical analysis you will use later is also going to change. So it is important for you to consider these terminologies. ये सिर्फ terminology नहीं रह जाती, theory नहीं रह जाती है, इसके पीछे बहुत importance आ जाता है. So for example, cross-sectional study, prevalence studies, percentage of a population having a disease at a certain time. Now, this would be an example where you would say this is an observational cross-sectional study. So अब आते हैं experimental design, experimental analytical research design. इसको experimental research design, interventional research design या causal research design भी कहते हैं. The reason being कि जब आप कोई experiment कर रहे हैं तो आप subject के साथ intervene कर रहे हैं. See, that is the importance of observational study versus experimental study. If you are observing something, you are not part of that study. You have not done anything to change the dynamics of that population. You are just observing that population. The moment I decide to add a variable to the real-time situation, I am influencing the results of that particular study. Okay, whether I am trying to test a drug, I am trying to test how an organism or a biofertilizer is affecting soil fertility. The moment I am doing something, intervening, the nature of the research changes. And that is why in analytical research, these two are given different status and importance. Observational का अपना importance है. It should never be considered that an observational research design is anyway lower in terms of importance than an experimental research. Okay, कई लोगों के साइंटिफिक लोगों के मन में ये होता है कि जब तक हम कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं करेंगे तब तक वो रिसर्च छपेगा नहीं. लेकिन आप ये भी समझिए कि इतना ही इम्पोर्टेंट हमें जानना है कि नेचर में चीज़ें कैसे होती हैं विदाउट अस डूइंग एनीथिंग अबाउट. And that is the importance of observational research. So now, let us look at this experimental research. So an experimental researcher wants to know the effect of a variable or something on the participant in that particular study. And usually for all experimental studies, a control group is necessary to be included in the study. अब कई बार इनिशियली जब आप लोग रिसर्च करेंगे तो आई एम श्योर आपकी गाइड्स बोलेंगे कि एक्सपेरिमेंट डिज़ाइन बना के लाइए, फिर आप कुछ लेके जाएंगे तो कहेंगे इसमें कंट्रोल बताइए, कंट्रोल क्या क्या रखें आप. Okay? So a control group, there are different types of controls, but when you're doing an experiment, for example, you need to know what the effect of that experiment would be on the different parameters that you have taken into consideration. For example, if I take an example from microbiology, if I am studying the effect of, अच्छा ये आ गया आप लोगों का, ये आप वो लेके आए हैं. So if I am studying the effect of any phenomena on organisms which are unknown, I need to include a reference organism in my study. Reference organism कौन सा होगा? Something that is known. Something that is a reference is also known as a positive control. जिसपे कि मुझे पता है कि क्या इफेक्ट आएगा. Okay. Now the reason for that being that then I know the experiment is actually working. Otherwise we don't know कि किस वेरिएबल के कारण रिजल्ट आया या नहीं आया. For example. Okay.
तो मैम क्या हर एक्सपेरिमेंट में कंट्रोल लेना होता है?
जी बिल्कुल, और सिर्फ पॉजिटिव कंट्रोल नहीं, wherever it is possible. आपकी रिसर्च का लेवल एक नॉच बढ़ जाता है जब आप अपनी रिसर्च में कोई रेफरेंस या कोई पॉजिटिव कंट्रोल का इफेक्ट दिखाते हैं. I'll tell you how. So for example, अगर मैंने कोई स्टडी की किसी ड्रग की और मेरा रिजल्ट नेगेटिव आ गया फॉर एन ऑर्गेनिज्म, I do a study and the result is negative. Now I'm looking at the result and I write my conclusion, there is no effect of this drug on gram-negative bacteria or on some bacteria, okay, some pathogenic bacteria, non-coronavirus. Now for me to make this kind of statement, a scientist will ask you कि जो चीज़ काम करती है वो आपने टेस्ट करके देखी कि नहीं इसके साथ. For example, जो ड्रग काम करता है उसका कंट्रोल आपने लगाया था, तो आपने बोला हाँ लगाया था. उसका इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है? ये बताता है कि आपका जो एक्सपेरिमेंटल डिजाइन है वो सॉलिड है. देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग इन एक्सपेरिमेंटल डिजाइन. अगर मेरे पास नेगेटिव डेटा आ गया, हाउ डू आई नो दैट इट इज नॉट नेगेटिव? बिकॉज मैंने एक्सपेरिमेंट करते वक्त उसमें कोरोना वायरस डाला ही नहीं, या मेरा डाइल्यूशन ही गलत था. जब भी आप कोई एक्सपेरिमेंट करेंगे उसमें कई चीजें जिसे हम कहते हैं ना आगे आएंगे, उसमें न्यूसेंस फैक्टर्स बहुत होते हैं. कोई भी एक्सपेरिमेंट हम करते हैं, मेनी वेरिएबल्स दैट आर हैपनिंग दैट कैन गो रॉन्ग. टेम्परेचर ठीक से नहीं दिया था कल्चर ग्रो करने के लिए, फॉर एग्जाम्पल. नाउ व्हेन माय पॉजिटिव कंट्रोल हैज वर्क, आई नो कि जो भी मैंने एक्सपेरिमेंट प्लान किया था उसमें कोई एरर नहीं हुआ था. नाउ द ओनली वेरिएबल दैट इज अननोन इज द ड्रग. Everything else is work. That is how you want to plan your experiment. वो आपको statistics में और clarity से लोगों ने पढ़ाया होगा. जब हम कोई भी experiment लगाएंगे, now this is a little different from what we are doing here. But always remember to keep your variables in a controlled fashion. Variable समझ रहे हैं ना? Variable statistics में पढ़ा है. Variable is any parameter that is changeable. Now आप जब experiment आप कोई भी करेंगे, जैसे even जो मैंने आपको assignment दिया था कि what can be the cause of a phenomena of your research problem. You yourself wrote down 5 points. इसके फैक्टर हो सकता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल कोरोना वायरस मार्च में ही क्यों पीक करता है इंडिया में, मार्च अप्रैल में ही क्यों आता है. इसके मैं 4 कारण लिख सकती हूँ. टेम्परेचर इज गुड, इलेक्शन, कारण क्राउडिंग होती है, या यू नो व्हाटएवर. इलेक्शन नहीं तो देयर इज लॉट ऑफ रिलीजियस, होली होती है, लोग का मिलना जुलना ज्यादा होता है. नाउ इवन इफ आई वांट टू डू अ रिसर्च ऑन दिस क्वेश्चन, why do we have peak of coronavirus in India in March, April? This is when we have seen, past history tells us this. It is not the same in some other country, it seems to be different. China, COVID-19 peaked in December. Right? And so, now there are many questions, many variables. जब आप experiment भी करेंगे, when you think about your experiment, you will find that there will be many variables that may be the cause for your experimentation. For example, let's take pharmaceutical or any drug or any treatment you want to do on group of experimental animals like mice. Humans ले लीजिए, mice. Now, अगर आप mice अलग-अलग sex के ले लेंगे, अलग-अलग age group के ले लेंगे, ये common example इसलिए मैं दे रही हूँ. Now, जो effect of drug है, you don't know it is because of difference in age. It is, even if I am talking of age, it is hormonal. It is because of different male or female sex. It is because of nutrition. So, जब हम experimental animals use इसीलिए करते हैं that we want to minimize all this. So we choose mice of the same age, same sex. In fact, we make sure they are syngenic. They have the same genetic background. So, idea is that your variables you minimize. Number one. And second, variable minimize करने के बाद भी you ensure that you have a positive control that ये variables जितना possible है हम minimize कर सकते हैं, लेकिन तब भी human error नहीं minimize कर सकते. मैं 50 सैंपल के साथ काम कर रही हूँ, अब मुझे याद ही नहीं है कि ये वाला सैंपल मैंने इस ट्यूब में डाला कि मैंने उस ट्यूब में डाला. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कई बार मॉलिक्यूलर बायोलॉजी के एक्सपेरिमेंट्स में जब इतने सारे रिएजेंट्स उसमें होते हैं एक के बाद एक डालने के, वो पता चला एंजाइम ही नहीं डाला, वो रिएक्शन नहीं आया. Now if you have your positive control in which you know reaction you should get, when you add your enzyme and you get a positive result, and in your unknown you have a negative result, at least you are assured कि मेरे से कोई गलती नहीं हुई है, actually result नहीं. For example, similarly जो negative control होता है, other than the thing you are testing, after keeping all the variables constant, you should also have a negative control. Negative control क्या होगा? Positive control जैसे बैक्टीरिया है, उसमें मैंने ड्रग डाला, मुझे इफेक्ट आया. उसके साथ एक ऐसा कंट्रोल भी होना चाहिए कि मेरा नॉन बैक्टीरिया था जिसमें मैंने कुछ नहीं डाला और कुछ नहीं आया. That tells me that for the drug, that is the control. But if the organism died without me adding the drug, then again question why did it die? Was it because the buffer contains some antimicrobial something? It has got nothing to do with the drug I am testing. So that is how when you're, since most of us are going to be dealing with experimental research, this is something that you must keep in mind. आपको ये experiment करते वक्त नहीं समझ में आएगा, ये जब आप data interpretation करने जाएंगे, data भी आ जाएगा, numbers भी आ जाएंगे, आप statistical test भी शायद लगा देंगे. जब आप एनालिसिस करने बैठेंगे तब आपको सूझेगा कि यार इसमें तो ये कंट्रोल मिसिंग है, तो मैं बोल ही नहीं पा रही हूँ कि इसका इफेक्ट किसके कारण हुआ है. ओके, सो मूविंग ऑन. टिपिकली इन एक्सपेरिमेंटल और इंटरवेंशनल रिसर्च, पोस्ट इंटरवेंशन the researcher will wait for the results, observes, and then will obtain the data. So this is why we differentiate from observational analytical research. Now there are a number of ways in which we can divide these interventional studies. So one basic thing that I have put here, we will be seeing a little more detailed version of this in the next few slides, but just to give you an example. So you can have, for example, clinical research, ये नीचे ज़्यादा clearly दिख रहा है, और इसमें आप देखिए हमने डाल दिया है, these are prospective studies carried out with a control group for comparing, for example, effect and value. So we will come to research methodology in a little more detailed slides, but typically clinical research is done by medicos or in pathology labs where they are trying to see effect for the treatment of patients. Another one is known as a quasi-experimental research. Now quasi-experimental research typically is ऐसे experimental research को बोलते हैं जहाँ पे हमको quick result चाहिए. तो experiment करने से पहले अगर हम कर रहे हैं a quick result to see whether it works or not. Okay, that is known as quasi-experimental research. So what are the criteria for research design in experiments? So first you must identify your subject. Okay, and again this has to be very carefully done. So it could be subject, it could be the material you're using, it could be any industrial product that you're using. Second important thing is, what is the independent variable or the treatment variable? And then the dependent variable. So ये statistics में आपने पढ़ा होगा, dependent variables and independent variables. Independent variables will not change, and dependent variable will show you cause and effect relationship. And last, मतलब अभी जितना भी मैंने आपको explain किया was all the plans for controlling extraneous or nuisance variables, things that we have no control on. So in any experimental research, it is very, very important for you to bring your research down to the dependent variable, independent variable, and try your best to make sure that जितना आप minimize कर सकते हैं, minimize करें. आप observe नहीं कर रहे हैं क्योंकि आप intervene कर रहे हैं. तो जब आप खुद intervene कर रहे हैं, आप decide कर रहे हैं कि research का flow कैसे होगा, then you design it for success. If you don't design your research, it will not be a very successful experimental research. You will end up with lot of jumbled data. You will not be able to make any sense. And many PhD students will suffer this, unfortunately, in the first 2 years of their research because they did not give any importance to this topic. Okay? ये तो unit 1 2 ये तो पढ़ा हुआ है, तो theory है. वो 2 साल बाद याद आता है यार वो कंट्रोल लगा दिया होता, काश थोड़ा सा एक्सपेरिमेंट डिजाइन करने से पहले ये सोचा होता तो ये नौबत नहीं आती कि अब इसको किसी तरह से बांधने की जरूरत पड़ रही है. यू वुड हैव बीन वेरी हैप्पी, कॉन्फिडेंट विथ योर डेटा. यस,
इंडिपेंडेंट एंड डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल हमें तो
देखिए डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल आपको कैसे बताएं हम बताते हैं. सो लेट मी टेक एन एग्जांपल. सो वेरिएबल तो समझ में आया, थिंग्स दैट विल change. So you in your experiment, dependent variable will be something that there is whatever you're doing, it is always going to depend or change based on whatever experimental intervention that you are going to do. Okay? And your independent variable is like your treatment variable. For example, you're giving a drug. So it's a variable. To that group, it's a variable. Change हुआ है. But you are choosing to keep it constant. So I give 100 milligrams per kg of the drug and I keep it constant. That is not changing. So that is my independent variable. Okay. Now what is dependent on this drug could be the heart rate. It could be whether infection is happening or not. It could be percentage death. It could be cancer lesion. Cancer बढ़ रहा है कि घट रहा है. Okay. So you have to decide your independent variable and decide which dependent variable are you choosing. You can have many dependent variables. So that is why the dependent variable or the effect that the researcher wants to measure. That is also part of your research design. You can choose more than one dependent variable, which is what we will do in research. For example, if I am testing biofertilizer effect on wheat plant, so I may choose height of the plant increased or not. I might choose kitne chlorophyll content increase hua ki nahi hua. I may even choose, for example, plant stress response में उसके enzymes, जितने भी oxidative enzymes हैं उनका profiling I can choose to measure proline data. I can choose to use osmotolerant variables, right? So I can choose multiple dependent variables for one independent variable, that is application of biofertilizer formulation or no application. Got it? So this is a nice site I found. So I have taken it from there. So this is what we'll follow, some of it for the next some time. So experimental research design is divided into these 4 types: pre-experimental, true experimental, quasi-experimental and statistical experimental design. और जो experimental designs होते हैं इसमें they have been given certain symbols. Now we will go into each one of these in the next slides, but I just want you to pay your attention to these design symbol meanings. So O is an observation. O stands for observation or measurement. X stands for exposure to the treatment, whether the group has been exposed to the treatment or not. ठीक है, हम आगे देखेंगे इसको. EG is experimental group, CG is control group. अभी हमने आपको बताया कैसे हम control group हमेशा रखेंगे और जिस पे हम intervention कर रहे हैं that will be the experimental group. हम आगे ये 2 terminologies आएंगी. आगे हम देखेंगे R means random assignment of test units to experimental group or the control group. And finally there is M, assignment to both the groups are balanced, that they are roughly equal. Now whether you remember this or not doesn't matter apart from the next slide में इसका use किया है. But ये जो notion है ये हम explore करेंगे आगे की slides में, because this is what differentiates all these different types of tests. We can come back to this slide. So now I am going to go for pre-experimental one by one. And some of this is a repeat. हम already discuss कर चुके हैं, but इस format में करते हैं. So pre-experimental जो research होता है, वो typically one shot quick experimental होता है. मैं experiment करने से पहले एक बार करके देखना चाहती हूँ कि really मुझे वो effect मिल रहा है कि नहीं मिल रहा है, before I plan a huge experiment. Okay, I don't know whether it is going to work or not, so let me just try it out using maybe less number of samples in which I have not put all the controls. So if you are planning that kind of an experiment, they can be further divided into these 3 groups. So पहला group is known as one shot case study. इसके नाम में ही आ जाता है, ठीक है? So one shot में whatever are the test units, they are exposed to a treatment. So I take a group of mice, I expose them to some treatment, and the treatment यहाँ पे the symbol is given as X. पीछे वाली slide में भी हमने देखा था. A single measurement of dependent variable is taken. So I only take one measurement. I am not going to see कि आगे क्योंकि हम ये देखते जाएंगे. मैं ये नहीं देखेंगे एक दिन में क्या हो रहा है, 2 दिन में क्या हो रहा है, 3 दिन में हो रहा है. मेरा one shot case study है. I treat this mouse with X drug and I see the effect after 1 week. ठीक है? 1 week में I do whatever test I want to do. I take out the spleen. If I want to see size of spleen, what effect it has on spleen, and I just do that variable study. Now, if I get this good results in that, or if I get an indication that it seems to work, then I can plan a bigger experiment. Now, there is no random assignment of test subjects. Okay, so there is nothing. I have just taken one group and worked on it. And there is only one treatment. I am not doing multiple treatments. And there is no control. कोई मैंने group में नहीं divide किया, कुछ नहीं किया. So इसको standard notation is known as XO1. So one observation, O stands for observation, one observation, one treatment. That is XO1. And many times you would be doing this type of research. एक बार करके देखते हैं before बड़ा experiment plan करें. Now this design has two flaws. Advantage तो मैंने बता दिए कि एक बार करके देखते हैं before बड़ा experiment. लेकिन इसके you cannot use this. This is only like a one step. You can even publish it because if it is something that is very significant, you may want to even publish it. But it will never be given as much importance in the scientific peer critical review because it is like a starting. पहला problem क्या है इसमें? That there is no pre-test. हमको पहले का पता नहीं है. Pre-test हम next में देखेंगे. But pre-test का मतलब होता है पहले क्या कोई भी चीज में करने से पहले का रीडिंग मैंने लिया ही नहीं है. For example, if I am trying to test the effect of vitamin D on children's height, तो पहले तो मैं अगर रीडिंग नहीं लिया मैंने हाइट का तो वो प्री टेस्ट हो गया. फिर मैंने ड्रग दिया, फिर मैंने पोस्ट टेस्ट किया. तो अगर मैंने पहले का रीडिंग नहीं लिया और ड्रग देके फिर सिर्फ एक आपको रीडिंग देगी, तो इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू बी वेरी यूजफुल इन दिस पर्टिकुलर एक्सपेरिमेंटल डिजाइन. प्लस देयर इज नो कंट्रोल ग्रुप. अब ना आई डोंट नो आलू का पराठा खिलाया था, अंडे खिलाए थे, चिकन खिलाए थे उस ड्रग के साथ, किसका इफेक्ट पड़ा है, राइट? सो देयर इज नो कंट्रोल टू दैट पर्टिकुलर ड्रग. नाउ you can do one shot case study by adding a group in which control group in which no treatment has been done. Okay? So that is why they say without all these controls, one cannot really establish something that is known as validity of that particular research. So दूसरा है one group pre-test post-test. So इसमें क्या है with this research design, just like I told you, the test unit is measured twice. Once before, that is known as a pre-test measurement. You give the intervention, then you have a post-test measurement. Okay? But there is still no control group involved. So there is no group which is not receiving a treatment. पहले का जैसे मैंने कहा बच्चों का पहले का हाइट ले लिया, च्यवनप्राश गुटी पिलाई, फिर 3 महीने बाद देखा कि हाइट बढ़ी है कि नहीं बढ़ी है. हाँ, हाइट तो बढ़ती है बाबा ये खाने से. वी डू ऑल दैट, मेनी टाइम्स डू दैट. देयर इज नो कंट्रोल फॉर दिस टाइप ऑफ स्टडी जब हम घर में करते हैं. नाउ स्टैंडर्ड नोटेशन फॉर दिस टाइप ऑफ टेस्ट इज O1 X O2 because O1 is first observation, X is intervention, O2 is post treatment observation. Okay, this effect. Now, how do you know the effect? So normally what you can do is subtract post-test from pre-test. जैसे height, इतनी height थी, height बढ़ गई, बाद में घटी, इतना increase हुआ. Now, but like I said, because there is no control, you don't know किसके कारण height बढ़ी है. We are assigning the effect to giving the drug, but you really don't know. Now you come to the static group design. In the static group design, now you add a control group in this type of analysis to the experimental group. So now you have two groups, a CG group and a EG group. Now why you would do a one shot or why would you do a pre and post? अभी तो मैं बच्चों की बात कर रही हूँ जहाँ पे वैसे भी कंट्रोल. So ऐसे रिसर्च डिजाइंस होंगे जहाँ पे it may not be possible for you to have a control group. It is easy to do it with experimental mice or maybe with some plant, but there may be situations or a research problem where it may not be possible for you to have a control group too. At time you may have to decide what research techniques or designs you will use, जो कि आप आगे पढ़ रहे हैं. Plus, second thing that you must keep in mind is many times resources may not make it possible. Every time I plan an experiment with mice, every mice is going to cost me. So I am going to cringe. कंट्रोल में कम करो, या मैं एक्सपेरिमेंट कितनी बार, मेरे पास कितने रिसोर्सेज पे ही डिसाइड होगा. अगर आप ह्यूमन क्लिनिकल ट्रायल्स कर रहे हैं, कितने सब्जेक्ट्स आपके पास एनरोल हुए, रजिस्टर हुए आपको ह्यूमन क्लिनिकल ट्रायल करने के लिए, उस पर डिपेंड करेगा कि आपके पास कितने कंट्रोल सब्जेक्ट्स में आप डाल पा रहे हैं और कितने टेस्ट में डाल पा रहे हैं. ओके, सो दिस experimental research design, that is why the first criteria was the subject. अगर आपको याद है criteria for experimental research में, अभी तो आप इसको देख के बोलेंगे हाँ ये criteria है, but the first criteria is also going to decide which one of these studies you choose to do. Right? So you have an experimental group, you give a treatment, and you compare it with the control group. And now the subtraction is not between pre and post. The subtraction is going to be between experimental minus control. तो आपने क्या एनालिसिस करते वक्त भी क्या टेक्निक यूज किया वो भी चेंज हो गया. Okay? Now weakness of this particular group design is that आपने एक कंट्रोल और एक्सपेरिमेंट ही कर दिया, लेकिन अगर मैं जब एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रही हूँ, मैंने क्या किया, एक्सपेरिमेंट में मैं चाहती हूँ कि इफेक्ट आ जाए, तो सब हट्टे कट्टे बच्चों को उधर डाल दिया, ठीक है, और कंट्रोल ग्रुप में थोड़े से कमजोर बच्चों को डाल दिया कि वैसे भी कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला, जब ड्रग का रिजल्ट आएगा तो हट्टे कट्टे बच्चों में वैसे ही ज्यादा ट्रीटमेंट में माइनस ही तो करना है. So as a researcher, you may not want to make any manipulation, but it's a human tendency. So there is not a random, if there is no random distribution of the test units and it is static, then this is a limitation of this particular type of study. So now we come to true experimental design. And true experimental design again can be divided into these types. So the first one is post-test only control group design. Now with this research design, test units are now randomly assigned to experimental group and control group. Okay? Now this word is very important, random. Random means you don't know. Maybe आप नहीं कर रहे हो. जैसे हम लोग क्रिकेट मैच खेलते थे और वो टीम बढ़ती थी, सारे बच्चे लाइन में खड़े होते थे, तू उधर आ, तू उधर आ, तू इधर आ. अब जब कैप्टन ही कर रहा है तो बोलता था तू मेरे वाले ऑल्टरनेट हो जाओ, फिर अभी कोई थर्ड पर्सन आके बोलेगा तू इधर जा, तू उधर जा, नहीं तू वापस इधर ही जा, इस टीम में चला जा. दैट इज रैंडम असाइनमेंट. सो द एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप is exposed to the treatment and then both experimental and control groups are measured. There is only one measurement, that is post-treatment. That is why it is called post-test only, but it has got a control group. Now you have a pre-test, post-test control group. That is better because now you know previously आपके दोनों groups के data क्या थे, and on the basis of that you can do random distribution. Okay? For example, आपकी जो क्रिकेट या आईपीएल में ग्रुप्स कैसे बनाते हैं. Okay, so there is a pre-test. They have come with a certain score, and then they decide a weak team with a weak team, a strong team with a strong team. Otherwise, group बनाते वक्त if you put Australia with, Australia is always going to win. So you can't make groups like that. I mean, those of you who watch cricket match or are interested in कि कौन से ग्रुप में कौन सी टीम चली गई हैं, ये हमेशा is a point of discussion. हम प्रिडिक्ट करते हैं कि ये इसको हराएगी, वो उसको हराएगी. Right? So with this research design, test units are randomly assigned to experimental and control group. A pre-test is taken from both groups. Now selection bias is controlled by the randomization of the test units. Always. So now the way you write it is seen there. You see? So the control group design for post-test is given experimental group, control group. R means random assignment. तो जब आप ये notation देखते हैं, when you see this notation alone, give you an idea about the experimental research design. It is telling you that in this particular there is a control group and there is an experimental group. To both random units have been assigned, and you have taken one observation afterwards. In this pre-test, post-test, you see O1, O2. O3, O4. Okay. Now the another kind is known as the Solomon 4 group design. Now in follow this particular design, it assesses the impact of pre-testing on the subsequent measures. So ठीक है, आपने pre-test तो ले लिया, लेकिन आपने उसको use नहीं किया डेटा को. So in this, one uses it, and let us see how. It is typically Solomon 4 group is used when the researcher suspects that the pre-test is going to influence the post-test result. Many cases it may not. So in this research design, test units are randomly allocated to 2 experimental groups and 2 controls. So कभी 4 group हो गए. Okay? Now one of the experimental group and one control group is measured. Then both are exposed to the treatment. So if you see in the notation here, EG1, CG1 में हमने pre-test लिया है. EG2, CG2 में नहीं लिया है. Okay? Why? Because you don't want the pre-test to bias which group you are putting them into. The moment you have pre-test results, you can be not so random anymore too. Or maybe your testing is going to influence the post-test results. For example, psychological studies. तो पहले से ही आपने questionnaire देके कुछ testing कर ली है. Then you don't know what is the effect of already that intervention afterwards. Okay? Yeah, if I have a set of any data, any object, any chemical, any physical object, and I test it beforehand, its elasticity, I don't know what my measurement technique has done to that object. तो अगर मैं फिर से इंटरवेंशन करके बाद में लूँ, तो भी मेरा उसको हैंडल करने से उसमें क्या फर्क पड़ा है, उससे मे बी पोस्ट टेस्ट रिजल्ट्स इन्फ्लुएंस होने वाले. तो उसका कंट्रोल है ऐसे एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप जिसमें कि प्री टेस्ट नहीं किया गया. So now you have to compare the pre-test results of this and make sure that the pre-test has not affected the study. Right? So a total of 6 measurements are taken and the design aims to account for pre-testing bias. How will you know कि bias हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है? How will you do that? How is this helping you understand कि bias pre-testing का आया है कि नहीं आया है? इस फॉर एग्जाम्पल इस एक्सपेरिमेंटल डिजाइन में क्या आप प्रोजेक्ट करोगे डेटा जिसमें कि देयर इज नो बायस और देयर इज बायस. हाउ विल यू नो?
डेटा असाइनमेंट नहीं होगा उसमें.
अगर मैंने ये बना लिया, ये मैंने बना दिया है, रैंडमली भी कर देते हैं, इसमें आर है मतलब रैंडम हुआ है. अब एक्सपेरिमेंट मैंने कर दिया, अब मेरे को पास कोई डेटा आ गया, आप प्रिडिक्ट करिए
जहाँ इंटरवेंशन नहीं होगी.
वही मैं पूछ रही हूँ कि कौन से ऑब्जर्वेशन, ये यहाँ पे जो ऑब्जर्वेशन आए हैं, आप कैसे डिसाइड करेंगे कि प्री-टेस्ट बायस हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ? नहीं हुआ है तो डेटा कैसा आएगा? आप समझ रहे हैं सवाल कि नहीं समझ रहे हैं? मेरा सवाल है कि अगर मैंने प्री टेस्टिंग की है या नहीं की, मेरे को ये डेटा आ गया. अब ये समझिए, ये ग्रुप और ये ग्रुप के सब्जेक्ट्स वेरिएबल सब कुछ सेम है, सिर्फ इसमें मैंने प्री टेस्टिंग की है, इनमें नहीं की. जब मैं इस डेटा को देखूंगी, अगर बायस नहीं है तो वो कैसा दिखेगा? क्या O3 O5 में अंतर होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए? अगर बायस है तो क्या होगा? डिफरेंट होगा. अंडरस्टैंड? अगर बायस नहीं आया है तो आपका O3 O5 should be statistically very similar. Similarly, O4 O6 should be statistically similar. It should not be statistically different. Got it? So quasi experimental research design. Quasi का मतलब होता है resembling. It resembles the true experiment. It is not true, but it is resembling the experimental design. Now this is again used typically for times जहाँ पे रिसर्चर ने जो भी रिसर्च टॉपिक लिया है उसमें वो रैंडम असाइन नहीं कर सकता है. So this is used to establish effect of independent variable on dependent variable, drug on whatever treatment, in situations where researcher was not able to randomly assign subjects to for various reasons. So the only difference between experimental, true experimental and quasi experimental is lack of randomized control. Okay? So ये मैंने बोल दिया है, they mostly they are used to conduct in field settings, जहाँ पे आप नहीं random control कर सकते. It is difficult for you to do those kind of studies. And so typically, for example, it could be for some psychotherapy treatment or educational, बच्चों में आप कुछ change लेके आए हैं, intervention लेके आए हैं, उसका effect क्या होगा, उसकी इस तरह की टेस्टिंग के लिए जब थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट होता है, particularly human population के साथ, it can be difficult to put them into very random groups where everything is similar. Such type of studies are known as quasi experimental studies. Now quasi में भी दो तरह के हैं, non randomized control group, इसको non equivalent control group design भी बोलते हैं. तो पहला तो हमने देख लिया, इसका मतलब ही है कि रैंडम आप नहीं असाइन कर पा रहे हैं एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप और कंट्रोल ग्रुप को. बाकी इट इज सिमिलर टू प्री टेस्ट एंड पोस्ट टेस्ट. इनफैक्ट यू कैन डू एनी वन ऑफ दोस. इन क्वाजी you can do one test, you can do pre-test, but there is no randomization. So in this case, जो भी dependent variables हैं, they are observed. So for the pre-test, they are observed on both experimental and control groups. After experiment, post-test observations are done on whatever both groups, but the both groups are not random. It is non-random. Now, what is the problem with this? There is no internal validity of your data. Internal validity का मतलब है अपने ही ग्रुप में you are not able to maintain the validity because the assignment of groups may be biased. And whenever in a scientific study element of bias comes in, the importance of that study goes down. Okay? But it does not mean that that study is null and void. ये याद रखिए. कोई भी study null and void नहीं होती. बट आप उसमें अपनी कंडीशंस डिफाइन करेंगे, हम ये सब क्यों स्टडी कर रहे हैं. बस इस तरह के एक्सपेरिमेंट्स लोग करते हैं, डेटा भी आता है, लेकिन जब मैं एज अ रिसर्चर उस डेटा को देख रहा हूँ, एज अ क्रिटिकल रिव्यूअर उस डेटा को देख रही हूँ, एटलीस्ट मुझे पता होना चाहिए कि वो किस कंडीशन में किया गया. सो आई टेक दैट विद अ पिंच ऑफ सॉल्ट. पिंच ऑफ सॉल्ट समझ रहे हैं कि मैं उसको समझूंगी कि इन कंडीशंस में ये एक्सपेरिमेंट किया गया है. दिस मे नॉट बी द होल ट्रूथ. Maybe this can be the basis for reconfirming. आगे हम देखेंगे research design which is known as confirmatory research design, which tells me that this type of studies, more research can be done on it. So it actually opens up avenues कि किसी ने थोड़ा बहुत काम करके बताया कि इफेक्ट है, लेकिन मैं पूरी तरह नहीं कंफर्म कर पाया हूँ, आगे लोग करें उस पर काम. ठीक है. आज I'll have to cut short the class. Let us finish this part. Now, time series quasi-experimental research design. So, time series set of measurements taken over period of time, but in certain intervals. Okay? So, it's just a different way in which done. अब तक हमने देखा था single observation, O1, O3, एक observation. लेकिन आप जब यही study multiple timelines के साथ करेंगे, then it gets known as time series quasi-experimental research. Okay? Now, in pre-test, you can measure one or more times. Post-test, you can have multiple measurements, so it becomes a time series. Now, I wanted to show you this graph. Maybe I can do it quickly. So, this is an example. I took it from this research paper. इसमें एक hypothetical interrupted time series design दिखाया है, जिसमें कि there is an instructor who starts taking attendance every day in a research methodology class to see if the attendance will go up. Okay? So there are two sets of data here. So as you can see, there is a बताइए, what words will you use? This is the treatment. Okay, so this is going to be pre-test. This is going to be post-test. Right? So you can see the two graphs, and which one do you belong to? Okay, so now you know which one you belong to. When there is attendance, I think we move to figure A, right? So if there is no attendance, then the attendance goes down. Okay, so this is another example. It's a very classic example. So I put it here for quasi experimentation. So this Cook and Campbell का 1979 का एक quote करते हैं इस experiment को कि they did an experiment where they reduced work hours from 10 hours to 8 hours. And in fact, अभी भी we know some places we have 8 hours. And what suppose ये मैंने research problem आपको दिया होता research design effect of work hours on productivity जो मैं आपको एक्सरसाइज बता रही थी फिर आप उसके रीजंस निकाल सकते थे कोई कहता नो नो यू नो वी नीड टू वर्क मोर टू अचीव मोर but what they got from this data actually was that productivity increased after shortening of time okay? And it remained elevated for many months because with less time you know people were more maybe now you can have many reasons for it as a researcher you yourself can write reasons क्यों they you found increased productivity when actually work time was reduced or nowadays people talk about work from home now it turned out at the end of the day that in corona time productivity of many companies went up because people are working from home there is and you know there were many other reasons उनका cost कम हो गया या जो भी है जब उन्होंने analysis किया they found that there was more profit in COVID with people working from home than by running offices in their corporate world. So the point here is that the interrupted time series design is like a pre-test post-test. So अगर ये भी experiment उन्होंने किया होगा तो पहले measurement किया होगा, फिर intervention किया होगा, फिर over months they would have decided what is the thing. I actually